What's up, guys? It is 5 more days until my surgery, so I just wanted to come on here and do a story time really quick. So again, 5 more days until my surgery. I'm really nervous. Anyways, so Friday I'm gonna go get my nails done because they look beat the fuck up. But yeah, I'm gonna go get my nails done. I get dip. So yeah, this one, it's like all fucked up, so I'm gonna go get them done. And then I'm getting my hair braided because I don't want to be dealing with this nest when I am in the hospital recovering and etc. I'm gonna try to leave it in as long as possible, and I'm using my real hair. Anyways, so today's story time is going to be about, I don't know how this came up in my head. I was watching, what was I watching? I was watching a show. No, I was watching a movie, Girl Interrupted, yesterday. And they were in the mental hospital, but it wasn't really like a mental hospital. It was just like a rehabilitation center for people with mental illnesses. So it just made me think about the time that I was in the mental hospital. So I wanted to do a story time about it. Okay, so yes. I went to the mental hospital like maybe 3 different times, no cap. So I used to struggle a lot with self-harm and suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts, but keep that between us, okay? Don't tell anybody. That doesn't mean you'll travel outside of this bubble. So anyway, I'm recovered. We do recover, okay? So anyway, yeah. So when I was like 18, yeah, I don't know, I was having really weird thoughts, and I kept like, I would walk past people and like I would just get thoughts of like wanting to hurt other people, and I was like, okay, this is not right, this is not me. So I was like, something isn't right. And then around this time, like I kept wanting to like off myself. So ooh, that's strong. So if you're familiar with Riverside, like the mental hospital there is County Farm Road. So that's where I checked myself in. And this was my first time doing that. So I was like, my dad would always tell me like, if you keep cutting yourself, I'm gonna take you to County Farm Road. And I was like, you ain't about it. Like, you keep saying it, but you never take me. So I took myself, and yeah, that's when I realized I was not crazy. So when I first went in, I was like, whoa, like I heard a lot of screaming and yelling and just like demonic sounds. Like I was like, do I really need to be here? And that's when I started questioning my thought process. And like I didn't tell anyone I was going. I just kind of packed some stuff and just dipped out. So they were like asking me stuff if I have a history of this and yada yada. I was like, no. And then yeah, they had to put me on a special watch because of my colostomy bag, and I kind of got salty. I was like, why? And they pretty much told me, oh well, because that could give another person here motive to try to harm you intentionally. So the whole time I was there, like I was there for 4 days, like I had to be in a different section from the normal people because yeah. So anyway, and they didn't have beds. So like there was no beds. There was literally like, I just remember this because I was so terrified. They didn't have beds. There was just these couches. Some of them like just like, I want to say recliners, like couches that pulled down to a bed, and some of them did and some of them didn't. So I was like, okay, like it's kind of weird, but I guess. And most of them were taken up. So like a lot of people were laying on the floor with their blanket and like a makeshift pillow out of a blanket. So I was like, okay, and I was lucky enough to sleep on one of those pull-out beds. Anyway, so yeah, when I first went in there, I went to go use the bathroom, and I was in this like big room with like all these people, and this lady's coming out the bathroom, and she has shit, like literal shit, all over her face, smeared in her mouth, like all over her, and she's nude, all over her breasts, like, and she has the poop in her hand, and she's like putting it in her vagina, And I was like, I was about to walk into that bathroom. So I was just like backing up, and I was thinking in my head, why did I come here? I was like, I'm not crazy. Like, I'm not crazy. So, yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on? So that right there in itself traumatized me. And then, like, the couch that I sat in, it was next to this kid. I don't know if I'm not gonna say he's a kid because he was the same age as me, but a kid, 18, 19, whatever. And he kept saying, like, skip this ad. But he literally kept saying, like, oh, and I don't even know if this was just him being for real or, like, I don't know what he was on, or like if this was, I don't know what was going on. But he literally just kept saying like, oh yeah, I'm here because I killed people, and I'm here because I killed people, and I'm here because I'm like, he just kept saying it and saying it and saying it. But it's like he wasn't talking to me, he was just talking to himself out loud. And I was just there like, I'm like, damn, I can't be on my phone. They took my phone away. I can't even call nobody. I was like, I can't even focus. I'm like, there's too much going on. I get very overstimulated when there's too many people talking at one time. I've always been like that. And it's just like, I can't think. So then, you know, you talk to the doctor, they give you meds, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. The first time, I was like, I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not crazy. And then, I think that experience traumatized me, where I was like, yeah, I don't need to go back. And then, reminder, at that time, I was like, he's like not fully healed from my childhood trauma, so I was just like, slit my wrist, oh my god, I'm gonna slit my wrist, I just want to die, And then like a couple months had passed, I don't know, something had happened in my life, and I was like, oh my god, fuck my life, I just want to kill myself. And then I had attempted, but it wasn't successful. So then for whatever reason, I ended up back in that place, and the second experience was way worse than the first. Like, people, the staff was rude. They were yelling at the patients, and I felt again like I did not fucking belong there. Like, I felt like I did not fucking belong there. And then they were just rude. And then again, I guess I didn't have enough staff to have like a one-on-one person watch me because of my bag or whatever the case may be. So they had to put me in like a separate room away from people. I did not like that. I was like, I don't want to be away from people, like I don't like this. So I literally was just in this room by myself, like locked away like in a dungeon, like a princess. So then, yeah, I didn't really like that. And then I don't recall what the food tastes like. It's like such a daze to me because I just remember that it was horrible. And then anyways, I remember I called because this second time I called my dad, and they let me do a phone call. My dad was like, where are you? I was like, oh, I'm at the mental hospital. He's like, why? I was like, oh, because I tried to myself. He's like, so you went to the mental hospital? I was like, yeah. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. And he's like, I can come pick you up. I'm like, no you can't, I'm on a 72-hour hold. Anyways, I know like whenever I got out, I ended up going to the hospital for like whatever reason my health issues brought upon me. And I guess they saw in my report, because this isn't these 2 times that I'm talking about were not the first times that I self-harmed myself or attempted. So I don't really remember exactly how it came about, but I'm pretty sure I had fresh cuts on my arm. I think that's what it was. And that's what it was. When the nurse was doing the IV, she was like, oh, which arm do you prefer? And I gave her the arm that wasn't all cut up. And I have like, I'm a really hard stick. And she's like, oh, let me see your other arm. Let me see your other arm. And then I gave it to her. So obviously she has to report it. So I'll never forget when I was in the hospital for those like 2 weeks, they had a freaking CNA sitting with me like all type of hours in the day, even when I went to the bathroom. And I just felt like weird. And then that's when I was like, okay, I have to like get better at this. Like I have to, it sounds so horrible, But I was like, I don't like this. Like, this is invasion of my privacy. Like, even when I went to the bathroom to go pee, even when I took a shower, like, they literally had to watch me. And, like, if my dad was there or, like, somebody else in my family, like, they were, like, okay, but they still had to be in the room. So I didn't like that. And then I was like, okay, I have to get better at learning, like, where to cut myself because I don't like this. So then I used to cut myself specifically on this arm and then, like, sometimes this arm. So then when that incident happened, I was like, you know what? We're moving from the arms to the thighs because no, I'm not about to be washed like a fucking, no. So then I started, this is so bad. I started cutting myself. I mean, in high school, I already did this, but I had to stop because I really enjoyed my thighs. So I stopped doing this. But again, I started cutting my thighs because I was like, I didn't like all that. Them watching me in the hospital and me not being able to get like a second of freedom. I was like, I couldn't even close the curtain to change. They'd be like, sure out. And I was like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. So yeah, that's when I moved to my thighs and started slicing up them legs. So then, I don't know what exactly happened that made me like stop cutting. I know one incident that prompted me to stop was my brother was like, what the fuck is that bitch? And like, it just like kind of made me think about like, well, damn, like that's embarrassing. Or like, I don't know, it just kind of made me feel some type of way. Like, damn, he's at, like, because at the time he asked me, he was obviously a teenager. And I was like, damn, imagine if I have kids of my own. They're going to be like, ooh, what happened to your leg? What happened to your arm? Why is it all cut up and fucked up? I was like, what am I going to say? I fell on a bunch of ice sticks? Like, so yeah. But I just learned to stop. And come on, Ad. Yeah, I just learned to stop and cope with my issues and my mental health problems with counseling and journaling and reading. The last time, it's been a really long time that I have self-harmed, or yeah. But I'm gonna be honest, last time I thought about myself was probably like last year. It's not what it sounds. Because I was taking this medication called Cymbalta to help with pain, and I don't like taking psychotics medication, whatever you call it, because I tried it before and I personally don't like the effect it has on me because I also take epilepsy medication. So I just feel like for me it doesn't mix well with the other medications I take on top of that. So anyway, yeah, like last year I started taking Cymbalta, let's just say around March. No, because that's when I met my boyfriend. Let's say, because I was taking it when I was with him, and he didn't want me to take it because he knew it was an antidepressant medication. He was like, you're not depressed, like, come on. And it was to help with pain. But anyway, it was just sometime last year. And like, it started making me think these crazy ass things, and it made me really snappy. And like, it made me feel like very suicidal. And I didn't know who to tell. I didn't want to tell my counselor because I was like, she'd be like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I just didn't know who to tell that to. So one day, like, I just started crying to my boyfriend, and he's like, what's wrong? I was like, please don't judge me, but I feel like I just want to kill myself. He's like, it's the fucking medicine you're taking. Because I'm just not that person anymore, and I haven't been that person in years because I've just flourished. So immediately when I told him that, he was like, you need to stop taking that shit. And I did, because that was scary. It was very scary. And not only was it not helping with my pain, it was making me think some crazy shit. So no bueno, muy mal. So no, we're not taking that anymore. And I have no issues with antidepressants or psychotic medication, but for me, it's just, no, I'm not taking it. But that was my story time about I forgot, I got a brain fart. That was my story time about when I was in a mental hospital. I think I've been in a mental hospital a total of 4 times, but I don't really have stories for the other times because it was just kind of a fog. But I'm doing like a countdown. So today is 5 more days until my surgery. I'm going to try my best to do a video like on the countdowns, but it's gonna be a little bit hard because I'm gonna be a little busy, kinda. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best. But okay, yeah, bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Go follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Thank you.